hit that like or the dislike and hit the subscribe button. What is up, gang? It's Doomber. It's the Dingo. And we've got a new package today. I woke up this morning and my app that lets me know when my stuff is in the mail told me my stuff was in the mail. So what we have here is a new box from Blade HQ. So that should tell you right there, there's going to be some sharp object in this box. So let's get into it, and we'll see what Blade HQ has sent us today. Well, we got the dreaded styrofoam peanut that I'm going to try to avoid getting everywhere like I did last time. And evidently, I opened this thing up the wrong end. So we are probably going to get styrofoam peanuts everywhere. All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. There we go. So, as you can see, get it into frame a little better there. We have, let me adjust the camera. I got shit in the shot here. There's the dingo. Sorry about this, gang. Just unprofessional as can be. All right, gang. Now here we have another box from Condor Tool and Knife. Let's get into it. Let's see what we have here. Oh yeah. That's how they come. Usually in a plastic bag with the sheath separate. Got a pretty cool sheath, actually. I didn't know, but if you can see, this is Kydex. It's a hard thermoplastic. We got a little bit of paracord down here on the bottom. We can tie a lanyard or something on the machete with. And then, I don't like that. Look right there. There's a crack in the leather that I'm not thrilled about. And it goes, I'm not fucking pumped about that. That fucking kind of pisses me off. But I will treat that with some oil. I don't know if that looks like a cut. I don't know if I can get this into the frame or in up close here. Yeah, so this, it almost looks like it's cut. Where this dangler loop, this will go around, my belt would go through this part here. The leather feels a little dry. And even here, there's a little, I don't know if it's cracking. Not sure. This doesn't unsnap. I thought that unsnapped, but I don't think it does. No, that's riveted. That stays like that. Now this is removable. I could remove this and move this set of screws down to this set of holes, or however I decided to do it. But my concern is the leather here. But this only goes in, this little crack here, it goes in what appears about 1/4 of an inch. And I think it may be a cut. Maybe somebody fucked up and like cut the box open or something. I don't fucking know. But it came with an imperfection there. And I would say, now that I look at it, I would say that's from a fucking box cutter. Do you see that line right here? Looks like it dug in a little bit there and then slide across there. And I wonder if it was in a bulk bundle and they were slicing boxes and went through and got the leather a little bit. I don't know. But right off the bat, slight imperfections on the sheath. What I'm going to do to this, because I think this is, the leather's a little bit dry. So I'm going to add some neat's foot oil to it, and I have it right here beside me. This is Ariat neat's foot oil. It doesn't have a label on the bottle. But what I'm going to do is find that crack there, and then we're going to apply a little bit of oil in there. As you can see, running around there. I'm going to let that soak in there in that spot because that's an open crack in the leather. And then I'm going to squirt some into these gaps here, and I may see these screws will come out. This is to move up and down and shit. So I'm probably going to pull these screws out and then apply that oil all over this leather and try to get it soft and supple again. And I'm not too upset because it's not cracking. Like when I squeeze it, it doesn't crack. It doesn't do anything too crazy. It just bugs me that I can't tell if that's cracking or if it's that appears to be a razor, like a box cutter. But this shit looks like cracking. I'm not sure. But it's real thick leather, so it's not going to compromise. Oh, no, it's fucking cut. Look at that shit. Yeah, that's box cutter, man. Somebody fucking whacked at this thing with a box cutter and sliced it twice right here. Hopefully I'm getting this. Yeah. There's a slice there and a slice there. So we'll add a little bit of oil to that shit. Just because that's a place where it can soak in a little bit better. So, yeah. So that's what I'm dealing with there for our sheath. Now, on to the tool itself, which is the Condor 15-inch Bolo Machete. Get a close-up of the edge here. It appears to be pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty fucking sharp. That's good. Now it looks like I can't. No, looks good. Yeah, I like that. The Bolo, I really like a Bolo machete. Now I got this because this is a shorter machete than the Yoshimi from Condor that I got earlier. This is also I don't know if it's a full tang construction. I would guess that it's pretty close. Like this definitely narrows down to like basically a stick tang, I would say. So it's not a full tang. It's a partial or hidden tang. But I would say that brass tube that goes through there probably goes through a piece of steel that's, one piece with the rest of this. So it's pretty sturdy construction. It's pretty fucking comfortable in the hand. It fills out your palm nicely. Like it has a nice little swell, and it has like these scalloped sections here where your thumb will rest. It's a comfortable ergonomic grip. And the Bolo, I believe what distinguishes it from other machetes, from like El Salvador machetes, is this kind of a little lump here. It's got just a little bit of a hump right there. And that adds a little bit of weight out here on the end for whenever you're chopping down brush and briars and stuff. And it's got this is a dull section here, obviously. And I can choke up a little bit and split my fingers like the Vulcan deal. And I can get a good grip like that and do some like finer work whittling with a stick or, carving or whatever. Condor's always had this hole in the end. I think they call it like the eye of the condor or whatever the fuck. But that's good for like, you can hang that on a nail or a tree branch if you're working and you want it up out of your way. I'm going to take this out and show you it in action, of course, like I always do, gang. We're not just going to fucking show you it and not actually go use it. But I wanted this because the Yoshimi is much heavier, for one. It weighs, I believe, 2 pounds, maybe more. Let's see how it fits in the sheath here. Nice, locks into place pretty well. Got a little lip to push over. You can see the dent right there. That's going to be what kind of catches your handle down in here. So I like how it looks and feels in the sheath. I'm less than pumped about the cracks and stuff in the leather, but I don't think it will compromise it. So I'm not that upset. Yeah. So let's get to what are the measurements on this thing. Our blade is, from tip to handle, is 15.5 inches. The cutting edge is roughly 13.5 inches. So you have that 2-inch dull spot here. So you're not, but very rarely am I going to be swinging and trying to chop with this part. Like what, like you would be more likely to be carving with that anyway. So when you choke up, you can get a little more control over the blade and use it more like a knife than a machete. And I believe that's the logic behind having that dull part. If you look at a lot of El Salvadorian people when they're using their machetes in bushcraft scenarios, they will choke up a lot. They use this tool as a one-tool option. Like they sometimes don't even carry smaller knives. Like I will be carrying a smaller knife with this, but a lot of times this is the only thing they carry with them, because down there a Tramontina machete is, I think, it's probably like $5 American or some shit. So they get them for pretty cheap, and it's a good tool. So it's something they use as a defense weapon. They use it for everything. Like they'll sharpen them on the sidewalks. Like it's a very cultural thing in Central and South America. The machete is. So it's one of the reasons why I like them. And this is more of a traditional style machete than the Yoshimi. The Yoshimi it's more of a sword. So, and it's very thick. Like this is less thick. I'd say this is 3/16 on the spine here, as the Yoshimi is like a 1/4 inch, which is a good deal thicker. So it cuts back on the weight a little bit. So I'm pretty happy with this so far. But let's get it outside, gang, and let's start chopping some brush and weeds and shit with it and see how it performs. All right, gang, what I'm doing here is illustrating, or trying to illustrate, how to make what they call a grabot or a grabot. I'm not sure how to spell it or quite how to say it, but in Central and South America, and I'm sure other places, they use a little hooked stick to grab brush and different things and pull it out of your way and swing the machete without running the risk of hitting yourself in the hand. You can, or the arm or whatever, you can hook the brush and hold it out of the way and smack it close to the ground with your machete.
As you're about to see here, I kind of pissed myself off. I fucking stuck the machete in a piece of wood, and then it just fell over and stuck my the tip of my machete straight into the dirt and rocks, which is a real good way to dull it. But you'll see at the end, it didn't dull it very much. Gang, usually I wouldn't baton with a machete very much unless I had to. But the reason I wanted to with this one is because of the handle. The handle is one piece, and then that brass tube there is what holds it in place. And it's molded to this. So I wanted to make sure if I really held onto this end and then beat on this end with something, that the vibrations wouldn't loosen up this handle and compromise it and make it rattle or anything like that. And it's not. It's very sturdy still. There's no play at all. Thumbs up. And when you're swinging a machete around, always take the occasional look around to see who or what might be around you, the dingo, another person. You want a good 10-foot radius around you to swing around and not hit anyone, and in case it would fly out of your hand or something like that. Right here I have an overhead branch that's impeding my swing, so I can reach up with the grabat, pull that branch down with the spring tension in the branch, chop it, and then let the tension off, and that goes right up out of my way and I don't have to worry about it anymore. Gang, your grabat will have multiple uses. You will be able to rake up the brush that you cut down into a pile and kind of grab one end of it and hook the other end with the grabat and pick it up like a bundle and drag it off. And when you're in the tall grasses and stuff and you're reaching in with that grabat instead of your hand, there may be snakes or dangerous animals lurking in those tall grasses, and that's where that grabat will come in handy. That will be down there at biting range instead of your hand. And for instance, right here, I'm using the grabat as a rake or a gathering device or tool. And one of multiple reasons why this is handy to use is because the brush and stuff I've been chopping down a lot of times is full of briars and thorns. And if you just reach in there grabbing with your bare hands, you will get stuck in the hands with thorns. What is up, gang? I am back from testing the Condor Bolo Machete outside. As you can see, it's a little scuffed up from my use outdoors, and I wanted to bring it in and show you the sharpness of it. And it's still pretty friggin' sharp, and I batoned it through some pretty thick ass firewood. So I got a piece of newspaper here, and I will try to get it so we can see here. Still pretty sharp. Oh yeah. I was trying to illustrate there by choking up on the blade and using the tip to cut was that was the tip that jammed down into the dirt, and I wanted to see if it was still, shaving sharp, and it is. And then what I do is I get my strop, which is a piece of leather that I made this one. This is the top off an old turkey call, a box call, and this is leather, the rough side out. And this is what I use to strop my blade instead of sharpening it. I'm not removing material. What happens sometimes, your blade, if you look at it under a microscope, it looks like teeth, like this. And sometimes those teeth get out of alignment, right? So whenever I strop it with leather, that starts pulling these edges back into line with each other. So that's what I'm doing. You're not really sharpening it and removing metal material. You're just shoving those burrs back into a straight line. Not burrs, but shoving the toothy edges back into a straight line.
Oh, that's bringing it right back to life. There's a little catch. Feels like there's a little catch up here somewhere. But yeah, that's a very nice edge, a nice convex edge that it came with from the factory. The Yoshimi did not come as sharp as this did. Oh, yeah. That is nice. That's right back to how it was from the factory, I believe.
All right, gang. That was my review, my unboxing, my initial use and impressions of the Condor Bolo Machete with the Kydex sheath. I know they made an earlier version of it that had a sharpened upper edge, like a bit of the tip was sharpened on the upper spine portion, but this is the newer version of it. And I'm pretty impressed with the blade itself, the usability, the functionality of it. I was very disappointed in the leather part of the Kydex sheath. It had, I would say, at least 3 cuts in it from a box cutter. They were clean slices. They weren't cracked and ripped. They were clean slices. So that is something that happened somewhere between either Condor's factory going to Blade HQ, or upon arrival at Blade HQ, somebody chopped through some shit and hit the whatever. I discussed it earlier, so I'm not going to get into it again. I'm going to leave you like I always do, gang, with a rip and a sip. Till next time, gang. Peace out.